Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Audi A8 L. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this A8 L. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Landon. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 28 on the highway, with power outputs being 335 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. You can also get a 4-liter V8 turbocharged as well if you want. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you can see distinctive lines there on either side, and then notice how it's just like flat in the center. Really cool daytime running lights here, well, at least in my opinion, and then you guys can see there with the headlights super bright. And then we do have some parking sensors integrated into the front end, and then notice with the Audi logo there front and center, and then we have like a little Quattro badge off to the side, and then chrome trim around the grille. And putting it all together, well, it looks like a gigantic Audi. Come around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 265, 40, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the wheel design, you got the silver on the top, then you got the metallic gray down below that, and I think it's a pretty good looking wheel. Really cool cut there with the fender. Notice we got our S-line badge here on the side, and then we've got more chrome trim here around the windows, and then actually some silver trim there at the bottom. And then here's your full side view of the car, and this is where you can see that, well, the A8 L is a pretty long car, hence the L. Here's our key fob. We've got our Audi logo, we've got our unlock, we've got our opening for the trunk, our lock function, and then, well, nothing there in the back, so I guess we'll press this a couple times. Now, taking a look at the cargo area, it's actually very spacious. Something that's interesting though is it doesn't look like it's that much bigger than the S6 that I just reviewed, so I'm guessing more of the space is used up for the passenger area. But anyways, press that button right there and that will close the trunk right up. Now, taking a look at the taillights here, we've got Audi's cool like sequential design, and then notice how it's like a light bar here in the back. Of course, got our A8L badge there, and then notice how the exhaust tips are actually hidden. Putting it all together, I do think that it's a good looking car, but if I'm being honest, it does look like a gigantic A4. I mean, there are some distinct differences, but like, it still looks like an Audi. Now, taking a look at the door panel here, you guys can see the leather trim and look at the wood trim, and then we've got like the Alcantara down below. It might be suede. I can never tell the difference, to be honest. Anyways, look at the leather trim here as well, and actually it looks like that's a little storage container. That is strange. We've got all of our controls here for the windows, and then also for like the sunshades as well, which is really cool. And then you guys can see the sunshades themselves. And then here are the seats. You guys can see perforated all down the center. Very nice with the overall look. Oh boy, yep, I was right. All the space has been basically converted to legroom back here. This is crazy how spacious it is. We got a little storage pocket here. Look at the wood trim on the back seat. And you got some vent action here with some 12 volts. And then we also have this little control stack here for heated seats in the rear. We've got our own climate zones back here. And then really nice leather trim here on the side. And we got some USB action as well. So pretty cool look here. And then headroom back here is also great. So remember that little button right there? That actually opens up the sunroof shade, which is pretty cool. And then we also have another like little sunroof here in the back as well. And I guess that we have mirrors back here so that we can stare at ourselves, as if we're that important. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see it's more of the same, just like the rear. And does this one lift up? Yeah, it lifts up too. And I believe this also has like heated armrests, so that's another interesting feature of the A8. Anyways, we've got all of our window controls right here, memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then, you know, decent storage on the door panel itself. And then here's the front seat. Notice perforated all down the center portion. We've got all of our adjustments here on the side. Ooh, massage seat function as well. And then the steering wheel itself, power adjustable, got our light controls right there. So here's a quick look at the steering wheel. We've got really nice leather trim all around, and then you guys can see here with the airbag cover as well. Paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed automatic transmission. And then you guys can see we've got stocks for like your turn signal stock, we've got a cruise control stock, windshield wiper stock as well. Now, while I was showing the steering wheel, you probably noticed that there were some controls in the steering wheel, and, well, here's one of them. I can use this control to change the view, and I can actually press the view button to fully change, like, how this looks. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. So, you know, I've always been a fan of Audi's virtual cockpit, and this obviously has it. Now, in reverse, we do have a 360 camera system, and just like other Audis, when you turn the wheel all the way, it actually turns the camera view. And this also has the exterior view as well. I like how you actually have an A8 L badge on the little car. I think that that's pretty sweet. And then if we press this, we can do the other viewpoints with the camera as well. So really good camera system. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, we have a shortcut bar here on the side, and overall response time with the screen is really good. And if we pop into the vehicle tab, I guess this is in clicky function where we gotta click really hard. We can go into like the seats, for example, where we can control like adjustments with it, and the massage function, which is pretty cool. And then if we pop into the vehicle tab, this is gonna be important for this car. Obviously comfort is gonna be the mode you're gonna wanna do. It also has the adjustable suspension as well, but you also have the other drive modes if you wanna use those for some reason. Now down below, you guys can see we've got our climate tab. We also have heated and ventilated seats here up front, and this is actually set to auto. So we're gonna set it down to be a lot cooler because I like to run cold. Look how easy that was to use. Drive mode select down below that with your stability control, and then some more stuff for the climate. You guys can see volume control here. This is for the safety tech, the park assist, and then we've got our parking sensors, engine stop start as well. And then here is our shifter here. It's Audi's interesting shifter situation. Parking brake, and then got some cup holder action there with another 12 volt. And then center console. This is an interesting one. It's like two different armrests. Quite a bit of storage. Got some USB action inside of it. And look how they just hold. I think that's kind of funky. And then pretty cool with the glove box. Now you guys can see here with the dash, notice with the vents here in the wood trim and the leather trim, but if I actually turn off the car, I think it might take a second. There we go. Do you see it? The vents are disappearing. And then wood trim covers it. So when the car's off, or when the climate's off, it just is one big wood panel. Anyways, we got controls here for the sunroof up front, and you guys saw this earlier, so we got the double sunroof situation. So here's our window sticker for this Audi A8 L. You guys can see all of the standard equipment. Base MSRP there, and then the packages this one has. So this has the Comfort Plus and then the Executive package as well. Total MSRP on this one, $96,870. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, and hope you can now see the heads-up display. Both of the mirrors, shift blast monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, we will use the 360 camera system, which, yeah, definitely important when you have a vehicle that is this long. This is where we start to call cars boats. It's definitely in that territory. And this is a very tight parking lot. That's just how downtown Salt Lake happens to be. Look at that. Okay, I was like, you gonna walk? There you go, 360 camera system came in clutch, so we did not run anyone over in today's video. That is good. That is a win, if you ask me. But, yeah, look at that. Also, the suspension so far I can feel is very, ooh yeah, very comfy. It's got this, like, plushness to it. I just drove in S6 before this, and I can tell you there's a big difference with the suspension comfort so far. Let's make sure we are in comfort mode. Yes, we're in comfort mode right now. Oh yeah, this is so nice. Now, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, you know, Genesis G90, Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, Lexus LS 500. How does this compare? What I have to say is it's pretty much right there when it comes to ride quality. Like, it's just as comfortable. Yeah, it really is. Like, the ride quality is right there. So, you know, if you're just worried about the ride quality of the cars, then yeah, this is just as comfortable as those ones. And, you know, in terms of overall, like, you know, I guess installation right from the road and all that, also pretty dang similar, honestly. That's not what separates these cars, in my opinion, within this segment. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit more later. But it's so comfortable. I'm not even doing the massage right now. I should do the massage. Let's press that button. Boom! Massage! So it's nice having a physical button so you can just turn something on right away rather than having to dive through an infotainment screen to figure it out. Visibility is really good in this car too, which I like. It's just so so smooth. Very nice luxury car. Got it dynamic now. Definitely amps things up. Now, yeah, this doesn't have the crazy 4-liter V8, which is what everyone would want, but you know what? I'd still say that this 3-liter V6 seems to be getting the job done, and obviously it's gonna be more economical, right? But I'm not sure someone buying a luxury car really cares about being economical. Woo! Just because of that transmission, dang, this thing's, wow, it's quicker than I thought it would be. I honestly thought that it would, yeah, I didn't think it would be that quick. So, summing things up, here's the deal. I think the A8 pretty much accomplishes all the things that the BMW 7 Series, Mercedes S-Class, Genesis G90 accomplish. However, the big downside about the A8 is honestly the exterior styling. I think that people that purchase this type of car want people to know that they have this type of car. Like, look at the styling on the Genesis, look at the styling on the S-Class, right? Like it's out there, right? It's like, you know, when you see an S-Class, you know it's an S-Class. When you see a G90, you know it's a G90. But like this, it's just a really big Audi, right? And so I think that's what's going against it. But I do think that there's a crowd of people that also like that. They like the stealth wealth, right? They want to have a comfortable car, they want to have a nice car, but they don't want people to know that it's a super nice car. And so, you know, I think that it just depends on what you're looking for. What I will say though, is if you can afford it, I would go for the 4-liter V8, because that powertrain in any Audi is just so fun. And I think that that would actually help out. Man, this thing's bigger than I expected. I think that would actually help out with the luxury experience with this, because, you know, the extra torque means you wouldn't have to get into the throttle as much, which that's kind of the definition of luxury. But let me know what you guys think about the Audi A8 L, and let me know if you prefer this over, you know, the BMW, the Mercedes, the Genesis, so on and so forth.